Okay, so in this video I'm going to look at question 1 that came in 2020 mathematics grade 12 paper 1 and paper 2, so not paper 1 but paper 2, and the question was question 1, and the question was as follows. Question 1a is, given that matrix A is equal to 5, 2, 2x, find the value of x for which A has no inverse. 2, find the inverse of A if x is equal to 1. Okay, so these are the two questions that were in question 1a. Okay, let's go to question 1a1. Okay, we are asked to find the value of x for which matrix A has no inverse. Okay, for which A has no inverse, that is matrix A. Okay, so when you are told that a certain matrix has no inverse, you should also know that the determinant of this matrix is 0. Why am I talking about a determinant? As you have watched in our previous videos where I've talked about finding the value of x in a matrix, and you have seen that we have been using the formula for finding a determinant to find the value of an element that is not given in a matrix. So when you are told that the matrix has no inverse, that means the determinant is what? Is 0. Okay, so when a determinant is 0 of a given matrix, that means that given matrix has no inverse. Okay, now that's what you should bear in mind. Now let's go ahead and solve for x. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the formula for finding determinant to find the value of x. So we are told that this is the matrix we have. This one is the matrix given in the question. Okay, so from this matrix we're going to come up with the expression for finding the determinant. So we're going to write determinant of A is equal to, so I'm going to multiply 5 by x. Remember, we subtract the product of a trading diagonal. We subtract the product of the trading diagonal, yes, from the leading diagonal. So 5 multiplied by x, which will be minus 2 multiplied by 2. Then we're going to come up 5 by x will give us remember, before we do anything, you need to understand that the determinant is 0. So where there is determinant A, we're going to put 0. So we're going to write 0, which is equal to, then we multiply 5 multiplied by x will give us 5x. Then minus 2 multiplied by 2 will give us minus 4. Okay, once we have done that, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put like terms together. So I'm going to write 0. Then 4 will close the equal sign and become plus. So it will be plus 4, which is equal to 5x. Once I've done that, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to evaluate 0 plus 4, which will give me 4, which is equal to 5x. Okay, once I've reached this stage, what I'm supposed to do is now is to divide both sides by 5. Why 5? Because I want to remain with x alone on one side of the equal sign, which is the right side of the equal sign. So I'm going to divide 5x divided by 5 as well as 4 divided by 5. Okay, so 5x divided by 5, it's more or less like the 5s will cancel each other out. So this 5 will be cancelled and the other 5 on top will be cancelled, leaving us with the x. Okay, then I'm going to say 4 divided by 5 will give us, will remain the same. Okay, it will remain the same. I don't want to give the answer which is a decimal number, so the answer will be the same. So we're going to have x is equal to 5 over 4, or 5 over 4 is equal to x. So the value of x in that matrix is did I say 5 over 4? The value of x in that matrix is 4 over 5, not 5 over 4, but 4 over 5. So the value of x in that matrix is 4 over 5. Okay, so basically this is what was the answer for question 1a1. Okay, let's go to question 1a2. Okay, so we're in question 1a2, we're asked to find the inverse of a if x is equal to 1. Okay, so let's let me write the matrix here. Okay, this is the matrix in question, and then we are told where there is x, or the value of x in that matrix is 1. Okay, so where there is x, I'm going to put 1, so I'm going to write 1 there. Okay, once I've done that, now I'm going to try to find the inverse of this matrix. So to find the inverse of this matrix, first we're going to find the determinant of this matrix. Okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing we did in the first question there. So what we're going to do is we're going to write determinant of matrix A is equal to, then we multiply 5 by 1, then we also multiply 4, we subtract the product of 2 by 2. Okay, then I'm going to say 5 by 1 will give us 5, then minus 2 by 2 give us 4. So now I'm going to evaluate 5 minus 4, which will give me 1. Okay, so the determinant of this matrix is 1 when x is equal to 1, and the determinant is what? 1. Okay, once we've done this, now we can go ahead and find the inverse of matrix A. So to find the inverse of matrix A, we're going to write matrix A inverse is equal to, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say the inverse of the matrix is 1 over determinant, okay, that multiplied by the adjoint of matrix A. Okay, 1 over determinant multiplied by adjoint of matrix A. If you don't know how to write the adjoint, please just go on our playlist. You'll see a playlist called matrices. Check on those videos. You'll find a video that is entitled adjoint of a matrix. You can watch that video where we explained in details on how to find or to write an adjoint of a given matrix. Okay, once we have done that, then we're going to say 1 over, let me just bring the 1. So the determinant 1 is going to come, that determinant 1 we got 1 there. Okay, but let me bring 1 down here a bit. Then that one which is circled in red, that is the determinant of this fraction. So it will be 1 over the determinant we got, which is over 1, then multiplied by the adjoint. Now here is what happens to the adjoint. When you go back to the matrix, the original matrix, the one which is on top there, which is A is equal to 5, 2, 2, 1. Okay, on the same question, just on top there, that matrix, we are going to work on that. So what will happen is the reading diagonal will change positions. That means 5 and 1 will change positions. Therefore we'll swap the positions. Therefore 5 will take the position of 1 and 1 will take the position of 5, like this. Okay, like the way I've written down here, which is 1, then 5 comes down. They have just swapped the position. Now what happens to these two different numbers is these numbers, they will change their signs. The numbers in the trading diagonal, they will change their signs. Since they are positives, they will become negative. That means there we're going to have -2 on top, and down here we're going to have -2. What these numbers they have done is just they have changed the position. Then we're going to cross this matrix. Okay, now as you can see here, we have got 1 over 1. This fraction can be simplified. Okay, this fraction can be simplified. 1 into 1, it will give us 1. Okay, this one will be multiplied by the adjoint, the same adjoint, the one here. Okay, just like the way it is. When you look at it, I'm just copying it the way it is. Where I've just evaluated is where there is 1 over 1. That's where I've just evaluated. The matrix inside is just the same, so it's going to be like that. Okay, what I want is first I just evaluated the fraction. Now I have come up with 1. So I did 1 divided by 1 will give me 1, multiplied by the adjoint of matrix A, which is 1, -2, -2, 5. Okay, now as you can see, we have come up with a whole number or a scalar number. We can still go ahead and simplify this expression by multiplying 1 by each element of this matrix. So we can say, okay, I'm going to open the brackets there, then I'm going to multiply 1 multiplied by 1, which will give me 1. 1 multiplied by negative 2, the negative 2 on top will give me negative 2. Then I come down, 1 multiplied by negative 2 will give me negative 2. 1 multiplied by 5 will give me 5. Then I'm going to close the bracket there. And now this is the inverse of matrix A. Okay, the inverse of matrix A is 1, negative 2, negative 2, negative 5. Okay, if you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. Otherwise, let's go to question B. So question 1B was as follows. A bag contains 7 red and 3 white identical balls. 2 balls are taken from the bag at random, one after the other, without replacement. Okay, so you need to understand that there are 7 red balls in the bag, as well as 3 balls, white balls, which are identical. When you say identical, that means they have the same shape and they have the same size. Okay, and they were picked at random. This means that there is no selection. You are not selecting, but you just you don't even look in the bag. You just go there with your hand, you pick whatever ball you touch, and then you bring out. Okay, without replacement, that means you pick one after the other, but without returning. After you pick, you see this is a ready ball, you don't return it back, but you keep it outside. Okay, so whatever you pick out, it doesn't go back. Okay, now question B1 was draw the diagram to show all the possible outcomes. That is B1. B2, it is find the probability of taking at least one white ball. Okay, now let's go to B1, where we asked to draw the diagram to show all the possible outcomes. Okay, so first I'm going to draw the bag. Okay, so this is the bag, which contains 7 red balls as well as 3 white balls. So that's a bag, and then this is the first tree we're going to write, or the first branches. Okay, once we do that, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find the sum, or the number of balls in the bag. We know that there are 7 red balls and 3 red balls. Now what is the sum? Okay, so I'm going to add 7 plus 3, 7 red balls plus 3 white balls. I've used cream white there, then which will give us 10. Okay, so the balls will be 10. Okay, in the bag. Okay, now the question is, what is the probability of picking a red ball? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write since there are 7 balls, so I'm going to write 7 there, then 7 over the total balls in the bag, which are 10, so over 10. Okay, then I'm going to come down here for white balls. I'm going to write the probability of white balls. Okay, so there are 3 white balls there, which will be out of the total 10. Okay, out of 10. So the probability of picking a white ball at first is 3 over 10, and the probability of picking a red ball at first is 7 over 10. Okay, remember these lines, the red one stands for for red, and the white one stands for white. Okay, so now we can go on to the next branch, which is we're going to write that is red as well. So what is the probability of picking a red ball when you picked the red ball at first? Okay, that means the number of the red balls have reduced by 1, and the total number of balls in the bag have reduced by 1. So the probability is going to be 6 over 9. okay, because at first you got the red ball which you put aside, then again you didn't take it back, again you want to pick another ball. So the probability of picking a red ball now is 6/9. The number of red balls have reduced because at first you picked a red ball, and the total number of balls in the bag has also reduced. Okay, once you have done that, then you come to what is the probability of picking a white ball when you picked a red ball at first. Now this shows that the number of white balls is the same because you picked a red ball at first, so that means you did not pick a white ball. That means the number of white balls is the same. So I'm going to write white, then I'm going to write the probability, which is 3 over, now since you picked a red ball, meaning the total number of balls in the bag has reduced by 1, so we're going to have over 9. Okay, now once I've done this, then now we can come to the second branch, which is we're going to put that diagram, then we're going to call this one red and this one. So red, what is the probability of picking a red ball when you picked a white ball at first? So it is going to be 7/9. Because you picked a white ball at first, that means the number of balls, the red balls, are the same, but the total number of balls in the bag have reduced by 1 since you picked white. Okay, so it's going to be 7/9. That's the probability of picking a red ball for the second time. Okay, now what will be the probability of picking a white ball when you picked a white ball at first? So the probability, let me write white, the probability is going to be, since you picked a white ball at first, it's going to be that the number of white balls have reduced by 1. So we had 3 balls, so we are going to have 2, which will be over the total number of balls in the bag. Since you picked a white ball, you remained with 2 white balls, then also the number of balls in the bag have reduced by 1, which is going to be 2/9. Okay, that's a probability. Okay, once I've done this, that means now these are the possible outcomes that you were like to happen. Okay, and that is the probability of those possible outcomes. Okay, now I want just to mark this line. So the first one is red on top there, meaning RR, that is red, meaning picking, at first you picked a red ball and second you pick the red ball. That is, if you can look at that, it's just a red line from beginning up to the end. Then here it means that you picked a red, which is going to be RW. It's going to be RW, which is, at first you picked a red, second you pick a white, and then here it is white. Then at first you picked a white, second you pick a red, so it's going to be WR, and that now one down we're going to use it as white. Okay, you have picked white balls all the time. Okay, now these are the this is how you draw the diagram, and if you did like this, then the marker will just tick your answer. Okay, now let's go to question B2. Okay, question B2 was as follows: find the probability of taking at least one white ball. Okay, so question 2 B2 is find the probability of taking at least one white ball. Okay, so what we need to pay attention to, we are going to pay attention to the tree diagram we drew at first. So we are going to look at these letters I've written, or these probabilities I've written in light blue ink. Okay, I mean these ones. Okay, whatever has got white in it, whatever probability has got white in it, is the one we're going to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from, so we're going to write the probability of picking a white ball, at least a white ball. So we're going to write probability of white is equal to WW plus WR plus RW. Okay, so if you look at what I've written there, is I've just gotten these probabilities in a circle. Okay, once I've done that, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write their values. Now the probabilities of WW picking white balls twice, the probabilities I'm going to use are these. Okay, 3/10 and 2/9. So I'm going to multiply these two to find the probability of picking 2 white balls. So I'm going to write open bracket 3/10 multiplied by 2/9 close bracket, then plus, then open bracket. So I'm going to use those probabilities I've circled for WR. That means at first I pick a white ball, then the second I pick a red ball. So that's a probability 3/10 and 7/9. So I'm going to open bracket and then multiply 3/10 multiplied by 7/9. Okay, so there should be 9 where I've written 10. I'm going to change at the later stage, so it should be 9 there. So I'm going to close bracket. Then after I've done that, then I'm going to write plus, open bracket. Then I'm going to get those two probabilities, the ones I've circled those, which is 7/10 and 3/9. I'm going to multiply 7/10 times 3/9, so it's going to be 7/10 times 3/9. Close bracket. If you have got questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. I'll be glad to respond to them. Okay, once I've done that, then the next thing I'm going to do is now I'm going to do the actual multiplication. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the first two fractions there, these ones which I've circled. So it's going to be 3/2 will give us 6, 10/9 will give us 90. So it will be 6/90 plus 3/7 will give us 21. So I'm talking about that fraction there, the one I've circled. 3/7 will give us 21. 10/9, remember that 7 should be 7/9, not 7/10, over 90. Then I'm going to go to that fraction, the last one, the last pair of fractions. So I'm going to say plus, open, 7/3, it will be 21. 10/9 will give us 90, so it will be over 90. Okay, once I've done this, now since the three fractions, they have got the same denominator, that means I'm just going to pick one denominator, then I'm going to add the numerators. 6 plus 21 will give us 27, 27 plus 21 will give us 48, so it's going to be over, so 48/90. Okay, once I've done this, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find a number that can go into 48 and 90, and that number is 6. That means I'm going to divide both numbers by 6. Okay, I know 3 can go, 2 can go, but it's not the biggest factor. It's not the biggest common factor. Okay, so we're looking for a biggest factor, which is 6. The highest common factor of 48 and 90 is 6. Okay, so that's the one I'm going to use. So divide by 6, divide by 6. So 48 divided by 6 will give us 8. 90 divided by 6 will give us 15. Okay, so 8/15 is the probability of picking at least one white ball. Okay, now I can go back there and change where it's written 7/10. There it should be 7/9. The middle two fractions should be 3/10 multiplied by 7/9. Okay, so basically this is what you do. If you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. It has been easy learning Z Mathematics. The future is bright. See you in the next video, and God bless you.